Okay, everyone's been wanting me to do a video. I do not know how quick or long this is going to be, so we're going to give this a go. This is how to use Scribe, Odin, and the newest member of the team, which is Freya, or Frey. This is what I'm going to do, because as you heard, I will mispronounce the name, which is sad seeing how I'm the creator. What you're seeing right before you right now is Scribe. He is part of the team. He is the one that does the writing. So we're just going to leave all of this right here alone, because all of this to write the SEO article, this is just giving him guidelines on how to do it. Now, what you really want to do is, first off, fill in Scribe before you do anything else. Insert your company name here as well. Continue to scroll down through here, and what you really want to do is you want to give him the structure and the voice. You want a brand voice, and the reason why you want a brand voice is this is how all of your articles are going to read, and everybody has a brand voice. It doesn't matter, big companies, little companies, even people on YouTube. A brand voice is simply how you want everyone to perceive your writing. If you have a particular talking style, put it in there. Give him details. If you want Scribe to actually write like an author, tell it to emulate that author. It doesn't matter if it's fantasy, fiction, sci-fi, non-fiction, whatever. You can actually have Scribe, which is ChatGPT as well, basically emulate almost any author there is. Personally, I say have your own brand voice. It is very easy to make, and I will probably do another video for that later. But as you can see, these are the things that you actually want to fill in. You put in your own name, the company's name, wherever it says company names, that's where you're going to be filling all that in. It does help to have all this information. If you don't have it, just delete it. That's okay. That is actually okay. This part here, images of company reference, you can wipe that out if you don't have placeholders. Put the company name there. Internal links, you can pre-fill these in, or you can literally just say, Scribe, here are the internal links that I want you to use in the article. Brand concept and keywords, all self-explanatory. Everything that you want. If you want a YouTube script, have it done, go for it. I am just going to actually delete this, delete that part there. Let's see here, so we just get rid of that. And you do want the meta description, 175 characters, no more. Again, if it goes over the character listing of 175, Google's not going to show it right. It will just end up cutting it off at the 175 and put like 3 little dots. No one's going to click on the 3 little dots. People are lazy, pure and simple. So just make sure that it crafts the excerpt and the 175 character meta description, and you're good to go. So here we get rid of the condensed part. You can keep that if you want to. You don't have to. So you keep all of this stuff, and it's really easy just to copy and paste the entire thing. Fill in whatever you want, what you have, what you don't have. Now, these principles should be integrated, and this is all about your company. Now, my company, which is Ecom Cavalry, I'm just going to fill in all of this stuff right here. Get rid of that. Just copy and paste, which I already have all that. You want keywords, you want concepts, the whole thing. This will actually make it so that Scribe actually writes better. Pure and simple. Let's see here with the e-commerce. Let's see here. We're just going to copy and paste that because, quite frankly, I am a person and I am lazy. Why type it out, half a dozen times? Oops. Helps if I actually hit the right key. So we just copy that. And the company name, Control V. Keep the brackets. Again, you can actually wipe the brackets out if you want. It doesn't hurt one bit. It just, sometimes it will pick up the brackets, sometimes it won't. You can correct it as you go along. It's very simple, very easy. So there we go. the entire scribe. One more insert company name. You don't have to pre-fill this in. You can literally give him all the information after you load him up. He will ask for it. I personally prefer to fill it in because of the fact that it just makes it a lot easier in the long run, because then you can just go ahead and resave the file with your company's name, scribe, whatever in your company name if you want, or company name scribe. It doesn't matter. However you save it, just save it. But keep this blank scribe version 4, because if you want to write for a different company, a different blog, you don't have to keep setting it up. You can have, it's just a copy and paste. So, with that in mind, we're just going to do that one down and close that off. Now, before you do anything else, this is the way that I have my chat set up for writing blog posts. And oops. Right, plugins that I tend to use. WordPilot is a must. I also use SEO Core. You can use Link Reader. There's a lot of other ones that you can use. If you want them to use diagrams and actually make diagrams, the Diagram Show Me is a pretty good one. So I'm just going to include that one right there. So your very first step, grab Odin, which is right here. Just copy and paste it. Let's see here. Yep, select all and then paste, copy it. So Odin is the very first one you put in. Copy and paste him right in there. Wait until he's done with his spiel. And we just scroll down here. And by the way, the email that's down on the bottom is one of my primary emails. If you want to reach out to me, feel free to do that. Okay. He's giving you his spiel of what he is and how he is. So what we're going to do next is just type in, oops, well actually we don't do that yet. You grab Frey here for next. Select all, copy. Put her in there. And she's going to give you your little spiel as well. You can have up to 5 AI personas. I've tried 6 and ChatGPT just loses it. It gets really weird really quick. Next one, copy and paste scribe in there as well. All 3 of these work hand in hand. Odin's job is to grab all keywords, make the article premise, and then Frey's idea behind her is to have her write an outline, and you can even, after you're done writing having Scribe do all the writing, you can literally ask Freya to critique the article, and she will give you ideas on how to improve it. So it's a kind of a hand-in-hand thing behind all of this. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go to the Odin Scribe, prompt 4, experimental, and it is experimental still, because I'm still trying to get Scribe to write a full article like I really want. There is another plugin that I tend to use once in a while, which is a word counter. It just says word counter. I didn't use it this time because the experiment that I've been running is basically telling him to continue writing until I tell him to stop. So what we do is we grab Odin here first. Now, whatever you want here, this part here, wipe it out. And seeing how I'm using my brand of ecom, let's just put in, let's see here, Fire Personas. Now you can give him an entire title if you want, which I will show you that in a minute. But first, just copy and paste all to the buyer persona. You don't have to use the developer. You can actually do that. He screws up currently. I'm trying to figure out why, but the developer is still a really good process. And once I figure out where I have messed it up, I will actually provide a new a new Odin. I update all of my AIs. Anytime I make any changes, I automatically update them. I will send you the update, or if you are following me on the Discord channel, the 2 channels that I'm actually in, you know where to find Odin and Scribe. So here we go. We're going to copy that part, put it down here. And then we're just going to let him do the thing. Ah, okay. He's actually using developer for once. The develop part is really interesting, and I am not the one that built developer, but the guy that has, he is accredited within the Odin Scribe, Odin platform. You will find him in the prompt. The developer is an amazing thing. It will literally, as you can see, it's going to do experts, up to 4 of them. And this just helps you build more keywords and better keywords in the long run. So they're going to compete against each other to find the best keywords. So we're just going to let this run, and you can watch it in not real time, but you can watch it as it goes along. One thing that I will say is that the more information that you can give ChatGPT, the better output you're going to get. The whole idea behind an AI persona is basically just to help focus ChatGPT, because it has so much knowledge to its in its own programming. Plus, now that we have a way of connecting it to the web, it has a ton of information, and it can be kind of hard to focus it. It'll go a little too general. AI personas just help focus it. And you can literally have an entire team. Right now, you have a 3-man team right now that does keywords, outlines, and the actual writing. And the more specialized the persona, the better information you're going to get. It can limit you, but what I have found when making all the personas that I've made, which I've made a lot of them, if you try to make it do too much, it starts hallucinating. It will lose the plot. Nope. When it hits the stop part, you just literally just click on the continue, and it will catch itself up here. This does take a little bit of time, but it's worth running develop through it. If you don't want to run develop, just tell it to not run developer. You can literally just say, Odin, give me the keywords, do not run developer. Or show me the end results when using develop, and he will actually show you the end results. But right now, I prefer to let you run all this, and there we go. He's just literally given you the best possible keywords. Well, normally speaking, he does. Let's see here. So he's finished generating, and that's the end of that. Let's see here. So crafting effective business. Yep, the focus words that will divide. So there we go. Next thing we do is we're going to call up, and I always forget how to spell her name for some reason. So I'm just going to cheat this. Copy and paste it. Control C. Call her up, and then just say, please provide an outline that Scribe can follow using, helps if I learn to type, using the info that Odin has provided. Press enter. And there we go. She's going to give you this really great outline, and Scribe will actually follow along. Now, I have actually tried to get Scribe to do 1,500 word or more article. The problem is ChatGPT can't count. Why? I have no idea, but even Google's Bard, Claude, all of them cannot count. Someone could explain that one. I'd be really appreciative of it, because to me it would be a simple thing of, hey, be able to count a token or count words or paragraphs. It's not that hard. Or at least I wouldn't think it is. I'm not a programmer, so If it is really hard, I apologize to any programmers that I've pissed off now. Okay, Scribe is, she's done her thing. Now then, you come back to the Scribe Odin part here, and what we're going to do is literally right here. All the instructions are right there that he needs to follow. And more than likely, let's see here, yep, the voice, the channel, the voice of, and again, I do believe I gave him the voice, so we're just going to put my company name in there. Again, you want to do this because you don't have to have the brand voice, but the problem is it becomes too generic. With a brand voice, it is really a game changer all the way around, and I will show you, if you look off on the right hand side here, and you will see Chef Zany's new blog. It is a blog that I'm going to be writing, but I will show you the difference between a generic kind of voice and an actual voice. And ecom is a little on the generic side, but it does kind of comes up to where it's more professional sounding. You can have your brand as professional or as casual as you want. I'm just going to put an ecom and it should pick that up. I did not give him the buyer persona. I have it. I'm not going to put it up yet, just to show you. So what we're going to do is we're just going to wipe this little part out for right now. Do not save it, but wipe it out. Whatever you don't have, wipe out. Keep all of that. So, actually, we're just going to wipe out the we will wipe out the voice part. Just pretend that we don't have one. Same with the audience part. We're going to wipe that part out. So, we're just going to copy and paste from, let's see where you're at. There we go. Just start right here from Scribe. And then, and bullet points, tables, you can literally have him do that. Sometimes he will miss that, and you will just correct him. So you just copy and paste all that, press enter. And with 1,500 words, he's probably going to screw up because I don't have the proper plugin on it. But this is just to show you what he's doing. And as you can see, he's not writing in Markdown. So we'll let him run it. He is putting the bullet points in, though. He's not writing in the proper format, but we can correct that once he's done. And this is just a very quick article. He's also missed the other part of the instructions, which is 2 paragraphs per heading. This is really common, actually. ChatGPT sometimes has a hard time with instructions. Claude, I have found, I haven't played with it too much, but Claude seems to follow the instructions a little bit better than what ChatGPT does. Do not let Bard write. Google's Bard can't write worth a damn. It's really good for like keyword research. That is actually something kind of intriguing because you can take all of my personas and put them into Bard, and Bard will take on every single persona that you put into him. Odin will actually find sometimes better keywords off of Bard than he will ChatGPT, and that is because Bard has proper access to Google Trends and Keyword Planner. With ChatGPT, you can't tell him that, hey, don't, I want to look at a keyword for the U.S. A lot of times it'll tell you that it doesn't have access to that, but it can do worldwide. And this was actually my screw up, so this is why he didn't write, because I forgot to tell him, and I will put that in the new instructions, not to write a condensed article. So what we do is we just go to Scribe. Please write the full article in Markdown. Actually, Markdown style. Do not forget that each header must have at least 2 paragraphs. And this part here is very important because he cheats. Headers tables and bullet points do not count as articles. And then we just press enter and let him go. Because the very first article that he will actually write will be a condensed version. I have to actually write that into the table, into the experimental one of do not write a condensed version because it wastes one of your interactions. My whole original idea behind Odin Scribe was to keep everything combined within one chat so you don't have to sit there and go back and forth, copying and pasting things. You can just grab it straight off and put it into whatever word processor that you're using, and then copy and paste it straight into your website so that your blog is done and over with. You can pause this and read if you want. I'm not even going through it because I'm not actually interested in this article. This is just an idea to show you. You can have Scribe Odin write pretty much about any subject that you want. It's pretty amazing what ChatGPT can actually write. As you can see, he's actually only put in like the steps there. Hasn't put in any of the tables or anything like that, so I will correct him once he's done. The other thing is when you are correcting him, you need to tell him to keep the original content. Just please add tables or bulletins throughout the article. If you don't tell him to keep the original article, as is, it will change it for some reason, and I don't know why. And a lot of times, what it'll do, it will actually condense these. It'll to where right now, as you can see, there's 2 to 3 paragraphs per heading, which is what I asked him for. But he will condense it down to 1, and then put a table somewhere and a few bullet points, but it won't keep the original content. There we go. Now he's just writing the conclusion, and I know for a fact that this is not 1,500 words. The way that you can actually tell without using the word counter plugin is if you actually have to tell it to continue generating. If it says continue generating and it stopped somewhere midway and it's not finished, you know you've hit very close to that 1,500 part. Oops, hold on a second. Sorry about that. That was a bit irritating. Let's see here. I'm just going to pause this right now. Okay, this is actually becoming a bit of a longer video than I originally thought. 23 minutes. I may have to shorten this down a little bit, but this will give you guys an idea of how to use Scribe. You can literally, let's just say that I want to add a little extra. So what we're going to do is we're going to say Scribe. Please add more let's get some more information. I'm not going to worry about spelling because it actually picks up spelling. So title, we'll just grab that one. You'll see it. Section. Now here you want to tell them how many paragraphs. Give me an extra 2 paragraphs. Press enter. And he will actually add an extra 2 paragraphs. So that you can actually make up the word count that you're actually shooting for. And always read the whatever he puts out. Read it, go through it, make sure the information is correct, and then post it to your website. Because sometimes it can come up with a fallacy here and there. See, it's perfectly. So this is all perfect. This is how you do this. This is how you use Odin Scribe and Freya. Now, as I said with Freya, let's say Freya. How can I improve this article? And she will actually respond. And see, she's going to give you ideas of how you can go back through and say, okay, Scribe, this is what I want to do. Like add infographics to it, which would actually require another plugin, and that's fine as well. Or you could actually copy and paste the whole entire thing, put it into the data analyzer, and it can actually do some tables for you if you want. But as you can see, this is all really good ideas of how to improve this. Yada, 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 social sharing. Some of this is just basic stuff, but some of it actually comes in handy. Now, you can actually give Scribe not only your brand voice, but you can actually give him and Odin, and also an extent Frey there, a buyer persona and a negative persona. And this will tighten the way it writes. It will tighten up the information, and it will write it in a style that your buyer persona will actually want to read. As I said, I may make another video on buyer personas and negative personas. You don't have to have them, but they do improve things. Not only does it improve your social media, but it also improves YouTube scripts, TikTok scripts, you name it, social media wise, blogs, even websites. It will improve everything if you have a buyer and negative persona. Buyer persona is the type of person that you want to actually read your stuff, to come to your website, buy whatever you're selling, or reading the information that you're reading, that you're putting out. The negative persona is the exact opposite of the buyer persona, and that is the type of person that you want to not even bother looking at your site because it's a waste of time. It's a waste of your ad dollars. It's just a waste all over. By telling Scribe your buyer persona and your negative persona, he will use key phrases that will attract your buyer, and he will avoid certain key phrases that would attract your negative persona. So, I hope all that makes sense. This video is getting a little long, and we will see if YouTube will let me load it up. It's now 27 minutes. The sound may sound crappy. The video may be a little bit on the crap side. I will readjust this later. I am not a professional, folks. So, here we go.